God says, "Listen closely, my beloved soul, because this moment is not random, and these words are not arriving by accident. You were guided here gently, quietly, without force, because heaven speaks in alignment, not in noise." Archangel Michael is drawing near to your awareness, not to rush you, not to frighten you, but to steady your heart and help you see clearly what has already been unfolding around you. Time is moving, yes, but not to take something from you. Rather, to bring you into alignment with what has been waiting for you. There is a reason your thoughts have been circling lately, returning to the same questions, the same feelings, the same inner pauses. This is not confusion. This is preparation. When heaven prepares a soul, it often feels like a quiet pressure, a gentle nudge, an awareness that something needs to be understood before the next step is taken. Archangel Michael stands with clarity, not urgency, reminding you that awareness shapes destiny more than speed ever could. You have been standing at a crossroads without realizing it. Not a dramatic one that demands instant decisions, but a subtle one where perception matters. The way you interpret the present moment will influence the direction of your tomorrow. This is why this message matters. Not because something will be lost if you ignore it, but because something can be gained if you truly receive it. Archangel Michael says your spirit has matured. You are no longer meant to react the way you once did. Situations that used to pull you into anxiety, overthinking, or emotional exhaustion are now invitations to respond differently. Heaven has been watching your growth quietly. The patience you learned, the restraint you practiced, the moments you chose silence over reaction, all of these have shaped you more than you realize. There is a protective stillness forming around you. You may have noticed fewer arguments, fewer distractions, fewer chaotic interruptions than before. This is not emptiness. This is space. Space is created when the soul is ready to receive wisdom instead of noise. Archangel Michael does not step forward when chaos rules the heart, he speaks when the heart is ready to listen. What you are about to hear in the coming days will not arrive as loud announcements or dramatic signs. It will come as understanding, as realization, as a calm certainty replacing inner conflict. That is how heaven reshapes a future, by first reshaping perspective. You are being invited to trust what is unfolding even if every detail is not yet visible. God says you do not need to chase clarity. It is already moving toward you. The answers you seek are not hiding, they are aligning. This is why slowing down internally matters now. When the mind quiets, truth becomes audible. Archangel Michael reminds you that strength is not found in rushing forward, but in walking with awareness. You may feel a subtle separation from old habits, old expectations, or even old versions of yourself. This is not loss. This is refinement. What no longer resonates is gently falling away because it cannot follow you where you are going. Tomorrow is shaped not by fear of time passing, but by the courage to release what has already completed its purpose. Archangel Michael says your protection is active, your guidance is present, and your path is steady. Nothing meant for you will pass you by. Nothing aligned with your growth will arrive late. Heaven does not operate on panic, it operates on precision. You are being prepared to recognize the right moment when it arrives, not to miss it. Sit with this truth. Let it settle without resistance. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where understanding begins. What comes next will make sense because this moment made space for it. God says, remain still in your spirit for a moment longer, because what unfolds now is not meant to rush you forward, but to anchor you deeper into understanding. Archangel Michael does not come to interrupt your life, he comes to align it. Alignment often feels like a quiet rearranging inside the heart, where old thoughts slowly lose their grip and new awareness takes their place. This is the stage you are in now. Not a beginning filled with noise, not an ending filled with regret, but a transition filled with clarity. You may have sensed that certain things no longer disturb you the way they once did. Situations that previously consumed your energy now pass with less resistance. This is not because you stopped caring. It is because your soul learned discernment. Archangel Michael says discernment is heaven's way of protecting you without isolating you. You are learning where to invest your attention and where to withdraw it gently, without guilt or fear. Time feels different to you lately. Moments seem to pass quickly, yet certain thoughts linger longer than before. This is because your inner world is becoming more intentional. You are no longer scattered across too many worries. Your spirit is narrowing its focus toward what truly matters. Heaven honors this shift. When focus becomes refined, guidance becomes clearer. Archangel Michael reminds you that not every door needs to be forced open. Some doors respond only to patience and readiness. The delays you questioned were not rejections, they were safeguards. You were being prepared to walk through future opportunities with wisdom rather than urgency. What arrives too early often overwhelms the heart. What arrives at the right time strengthens it. There is also healing taking place beneath the surface. Not dramatic healing, not emotional outbursts, but quiet restoration. Old disappointments are losing their emotional weight. Past misunderstandings are no longer defining your present identity. You are learning to observe your memories without being trapped inside them. This is a sign of inner maturity, and heaven recognizes it. Archangel Michael says you are protected from repeating cycles that once drained you. The reason certain patterns have not returned is because your awareness has changed. When awareness changes, cycles lose their power. You are no longer meant to relive lessons, you are meant to apply them. This is why your reactions are different now, your responses calmer, your decisions more measured. Pay attention to the calm moments. They are not empty. They are instructional. Silence teaches what noise cannot. In stillness, intuition strengthens. In stillness, the soul remembers its direction. You are being invited to trust calm as guidance, not mistake it for stagnation. Growth does not always feel like movement, sometimes it feels like grounding. God says you are being prepared for conversations that will require clarity, not emotion. Decisions that will require wisdom, not pressure. Connections that will require boundaries, not sacrifice. This preparation is happening now, quietly, patiently, without forcing anything. Heaven values readiness more than speed. Archangel Michael stands as a reminder that your tomorrow is not shaped by fear of missing out, but by confidence in divine timing. What is meant for you will recognize you. It will arrive without confusion. It will bring peace, not anxiety. The more you release urgency, the more aligned outcomes become. You may notice a stronger pull toward introspection, toward understanding yourself rather than explaining yourself. This is healthy. This is necessary. When you know who you are becoming, external validation loses its control. You begin to move with inner authority rather than external approval. Heaven supports this shift because it leads to stability. Let these words settle without resistance. There is no demand here, no pressure, no countdown. There is only awareness expanding, clarity forming, and direction becoming visible. You are not being pushed forward, you are being guided inward so that your next steps are steady, intentional, and aligned with who you are now, not who you used to be. Remain open. Remain grounded. What comes next will not confuse you, because understanding is already taking root. God says, stay with this moment a little longer, because now the message moves from awareness into deeper alignment. What you are experiencing is not random reflection, it is the quiet recalibration of your inner compass. Archangel Michael speaks now not to awaken you suddenly, but to steady you completely. When heaven steadies a soul, it is preparing that soul to carry greater clarity without confusion and greater responsibility without fear. There are layers of understanding opening within you that were not accessible before. You could not have received them earlier, not because you were unworthy, but because you were still carrying emotional weight that would have distorted the message. Now that weight has softened. Now your spirit can listen without resistance. This is why the timing feels precise. You are not behind. You are exactly where growth becomes sustainable. Archangel Michael says you have entered a season where intuition will speak more clearly than noise. You may find yourself sensing outcomes before they happen, understanding people without needing explanation, and recognizing truth without debate. This is not imagination. This is discernment strengthening. When discernment grows, chaos loses its influence. You begin to move with calm certainty instead of constant questioning. You may also notice that your tolerance for unnecessary conflict has decreased. Arguments that once tempted you now feel draining. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. Your energy is being preserved for what truly deserves it. Heaven does not want you exhausted by distractions when purpose requires clarity. The ability to disengage peacefully is a sign of inner authority. God says some of your prayers were not answered in the way you expected because the answers were shaping you, not just changing circumstances. You asked for resolution, and heaven gave you understanding. You asked for relief, and heaven gave you resilience. You asked for direction, and heaven gave you patience. Now all of these are coming together. The lessons are aligning into wisdom. Archangel Michael reminds you that not everything meaningful arrives loudly. Some of the most significant changes happen quietly, without announcement. A shift in how you think. A shift in what you tolerate. A shift in what you prioritize. These are not small changes. These are foundations being rebuilt. And foundations matter more than appearances. You are learning to trust your internal rhythm instead of external pressure. This is important. When you move at a pace that honors your inner peace, decisions become clearer. You stop chasing outcomes and start attracting alignment. What belongs to you does not require pursuit born from anxiety. It responds to calm readiness. There is also a deeper release happening now. Old expectations you placed on yourself are loosening. You are no longer trying to become who others needed you to be. You are becoming who you are meant to be. This transition can feel subtle, but it is powerful. When self-acceptance grows, direction sharpens. Archangel Michael says you are being taught how to listen without absorbing what is not yours. You can be compassionate without carrying burdens that do not belong to you. This boundary is spiritual. Maturity. It protects your peace and strengthens your clarity. Heaven honors those who learn to love wisely, not excessively. Time, as you perceive it, is changing because your attention is changing. You are no longer lost in future worries or past regrets. You are becoming present. Presence is where guidance speaks most clearly. When the mind settles, the path reveals itself naturally. You do not have to force understanding. It arrives when the heart is calm. God says you are being prepared for moments ahead that require steady confidence rather than emotional reaction. Situations where silence will speak louder than explanation. Choices where restraint will be more powerful than action. This preparation is intentional. You are not being delayed. You are being refined. Archangel Michael stands with you as a reminder that your tomorrow is not something to fear. It is something being shaped carefully, patiently, and wisely. The clarity you are gaining now will prevent confusion later. The calm you are learning now will protect you in moments of pressure. Nothing in this season is wasted. Remain attentive, but not anxious. Remain thoughtful, but not overburdened. What continues to unfold is meant to strengthen your trust in yourself and in divine timing. You are not drifting. You are aligning. And alignment always feels quieter than chaos, but far more powerful. Stay present. Stay grounded. The message continues to deepen, and what follows builds upon this calm foundation. God says, now listen with even more stillness, because this is the closing movement of the message, where understanding turns into quiet strength and awareness turns into direction. Everything you have absorbed until now was not meant to excite you for a moment, but to steady you for a lifetime. Archangel Michael speaks now with calm authority, not urgency, because what is coming into your life requires stability, not fear, and confidence, not confusion. You have reached a point where your soul is no longer asking, "Why is this happening to me?" but instead whispering, "What is this teaching me?" That shift alone marks growth. Many people never reach this place. They remain trapped in reaction. You are moving into response. Reaction is emotional. Response is wise. Heaven trusts those who respond instead of react. There is a truth settling into you now. Not every door needs to be forced open. Some doors open when you are ready to walk through them calmly. Archangel Michael says you are learning patience without frustration. This does not mean you have stopped wanting change. It means you have stopped fighting time. You to hear your own thoughts clearly. It taught you discernment. It taught you self-trust. Now, because of that solitude, you will not lose yourself in crowds, relationships, or expectations. You know who you are becoming. Archangel Michael reminds you that clarity does not arrive as a loud announcement. It arrives as a calm knowing. A sense of peace about decisions that once felt heavy. A release of guilt about paths you did not take. A quiet confidence that you do not need to explain yourself to everyone. These are signs that your inner world is stabilizing. You are also learning that not every thought deserves attention. Some thoughts are echoes of old fears, not reflections of present truth. You are gaining the ability to pause, observe, and let those thoughts pass without engaging them. This skill will protect your peace more than any external change ever could. God says the coming season of your life will reward steadiness. Opportunities will appear that require discernment more than speed. Relationships will deepen where honesty replaces performance. Choices will matter more, but they will feel lighter because you are no longer carrying unnecessary pressure. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of this transition, reminding you that you are not required to have everything figured out today. You are required only to remain open, grounded, and willing to grow. Progress does not always feel like movement. Sometimes it feels like rest. Sometimes it feels like silence. Sometimes it feels like letting go. You are learning to trust silence instead of fearing it. Silence is where intuition speaks. Silence is where direction becomes clear. Silence is not emptiness. It is space. And space allows wisdom to enter. God says what you are becoming now will protect you later. The patience you are developing will save you from regret. The boundaries you are learning will save you from exhaustion. The clarity you are gaining will save you from confusion. Nothing in this process is accidental. As this message comes to its close, Archangel Michael leaves you with this reassurance. You are not late, you are not lost, and you are not unprepared. You are unfolding at the correct pace. Your tomorrow is being shaped by the calm decisions you make today. Stay steady. Stay present. Trust what is quietly aligning. And now, as this message completes its circle, here is your call to action, not from fear, but from intention. If this message brought you clarity, like it so this calm reaches more hearts. If these words resonated deeply, comment what you felt. Even one word is enough. If someone you care about needs peace and direction, share this message with them. And if you want to continue receiving grounded, meaningful guidance like this, subscribe and stay connected. Move forward calmly. What is meant for you is already aligning.